Welcome to Synergy Online Classes. Today we will see JEE Online exam which happened in 2nd September, shift 2, that means evening paper. We will see the solutions of the chemistry paper. General assessment of the paper is, it is not difficult, it is easy paper only, chemistry paper on this day and in this session. But most of the questions can be answered by with the proper understanding of the NCERT text. Except one or two questions are little deviated from the NCERT, but almost all the questions are from the NCERT knowledge only. Let's see the solutions. See, in this question, the reactant, there is a phenol and nitro group is there and methyl group is there. Now this is reacting with the HNO3 and H2SO4. Then what is the major product they are expecting? Now here, phenol. And remember, whenever in these electrophilic aromatic reactions are there, when electrophile is coming and attacking, then give importance to the focus on the more activating group. Give importance to that group. So among NO2, OH and Me, OH and Me are the activating groups. Activating groups means electron donating groups. Now whereas NO2 is a electron withdrawing group, that means deactivating group. Electron withdrawing. Now among this you have to give focus to the only activating groups, and among the activating groups OH and Me, if you compare, this is a better activating or more activating, because by resonance oxygen lone pair is involved in resonance with the ring, therefore it is more activating. Hence, this will decide where electrophile NO2 plus, because here NO2 plus will come out, which acts as electrophile and attacks on the benzene ring. That is decided by the OH group here. Now there is a ortho position is there and there is a para position is there. OH is a ortho para directing. So among these two positions, it will be chosen. Now here, ortho position is sterically hindered because OH is there, NO2 is there. So it is steric hindrance is there in this. Therefore, para position attack will take place. So what is the product therefore? OH, and there is a Me here will be there, and here nothing will be there here, and here NO2 will be there, and here one more NO2 will come and attack here. Okay. So if you see that one product, this product is there in the C option. So this is the product here. Next. In this question, a compound is given having molecular formula CnH10O and react with Hi, and it produces two compounds A and B, and one will give you yellow precipitate with AgNO3, other will give you positive iodoform test. We have to find the original compound. Now here the easy approach is going by the options. If you take options, then the time consuming will be less. For example, if I take first option, what is given? pH is given and CH2O CH double bond CH2. Now in this, when Hi attacks, oxygen will attack the hydrogen. It will get protonated in this manner. Then after that, this will be breaking down into carbocation. Now among these, there are two possible breaks can happen. One is this, other one is this. Now if first one, if breaks, suppose if this is first case and second case. Now first case, suppose if it happens, then what are the products you will get after that breaking? CH2OH, and the second one will be CH positive charge and double bond CH2. Now this is unstable, so therefore it will not form in this mechanism. Therefore go to the other possibility. What is the second possibility? pH CH2 positive charge, then other product will be OH CH double bond CH2. Now this is more stable carbocation, so the breaking will happen in this manner, and ultimately this will convert into double bond O H CH3 by tautomerism process, whereas the benzyl carbocation is will be converted into, when it reacts with I minus, because HI contains I minus as well, so it will combine with I minus to form benzyl iodide. Now these are the products you are getting here. Now this product, when it is treated with AgNO3, now remember, the compounds which can easily lose the halogen and forms a stable carbocation can form the silver precipitates. Now here it can easily break down into a more stable carbocation by releasing I minus, and this I minus then combine with the Ag plus to give silver iodide precipitate. Suppose if more stable carbocation is not coming, then this kind of precipitate will not occur because iodine will not leave from the carbon. So this is satisfying both conditions given in the problem, because compound is a compound B, they are saying gives iodoform test, therefore this is compound B, and this must be compound A, which is giving yellow precipitate with the AgI. So the original compound is satisfying with the first one. So first one will be the answer therefore. Okay, let's go to the second, third and fourth options also for the time being and see why they are wrong. Although it is not required in exam, once you get the correct answer, there is no need to check the other options if you are sure about that correct option. But here anyway we will check that other options as well. Now here in second one option, if you take pH is there and O and C double bond C is there. I have not written hydrogens for the simplicity. Now if I take HI, then you will get pH OH C double bond C. Now when it breaks down, the possibility of breaking is pH OH, and like this it can break down. Then after iodide, when it attacks, you will get allyl iodide in this manner. Now here this will give you, with AgNO3, this will give you positive test because a carbocation is stable to form. It will give you a positive test here. But whereas if you look at the other one, it will give positive iodoform test. No, it will not give you positive iodoform test. Iodoform test, there is a condition to satisfy. What is that condition? The condition for iodoform test is either you should have a double bond O like this, or an alcoholic group. This is a general condition, most of the time satisfying condition. There are some other conditions also, but this is the most satisfying or most common conditions in order to exhibit the iodoform test. And this is not there here, so this will not, phenol does not exhibit any iodoform test. So that's why it fails. So it is wrong option. Now look at the third option. Now what is the third option given? OCH double bond CH and CH3. Now here if you take pH O double bond C and CH3. Now once you protonate this one with the HI, then you cannot break in this manner because phenyl carbocation is unstable, and you cannot break in this manner because vinyl carbocation is also unstable. So both breakings are not possible, so reaction further will not continue. Therefore third option will be wrong. Now look at the fourth option, and in the fourth option it is given like pH and O, and here at the para position there is a one methyl branch is there, and like this it is given. And again here also break cannot happen, and here it also cannot happen. Once you protonate this one, breaking cannot happen in both sides. Therefore this fourth option also, therefore it is wrong. So that is why there is only one option is correct here. In this question it is mentioned that there is a bromide is reacting with a nucleophile and it is giving a nucleophilic substitution reaction. As nucleophile OH is substituting in place of Br, it is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. And it is seen that, and it is given that this rate equation is like this: K into tertiary butyl bromide power 1. So it indicates that it is an SN1 reaction, not SN2 reaction. And we already know that tertiary halides don't give SN2 reaction. We already know that point. But anyway, in the rate equation also, it tells you that it is only unimolecular reaction and a first order SN1 reaction. Now, if you look at the second reaction, here elimination is taking place. You are getting an alkene. So elimination is taking place. And as you see, rate equation is a bimolecular and for second order reaction. So we know that among E1 and E2, which one is bimolecular and second order? That is the E2 reaction. So second one is E2, not E1. If E1 would have been there, it is only unimolecular and first order rate equation has to be satisfied, but that is not given. Now, therefore, first one is SN1 and second one is E2 reaction. Now, SN1 reactions and E2 reactions, if you see, here rate is proportional to alkyl halide only. Whereas, because in rate determining step only this is there, that's why it is proportional to RBR, and it is also given in the question also. And E2 rate will be proportional to the halide and as well as a base. Now here, if you look at the equations, the concentration of OH minus will impact the rate of the E2 reaction, but not the SN1 reaction. So here, rate is independent of concentration of a nucleophile. Here rate is dependent. Rate increases when OH minus concentration increases. So now look at the options here. First option, changing the concentration of base will have no effect on the reaction 1. So in reaction 1 means what? Reaction 1 means SN1 reaction. Changing the concentration of OH minus will not affect the rate of the reaction because it is independent. So therefore, option 1 is right. Changing the concentration of base will have no effect on reaction 2. That is not right because concentration and rate is corrected in the elimination reaction, second reaction. So this is wrong. Changing the base from OH minus to OR will have no effect on reaction 2. See, in reaction 2, if you change base from OH minus to OR minus, what will happen? There also again rate will be that only RBR into OR minus. But when you change base, what will get affected? The rate constant will get affected. Suppose here rate constant is, let's say here rate constant is K1, okay, for this reaction. And if you change the base to OR minus, then the rate constant will not be K1, the rate constant will be something else because reactants are changed, rate constant also accordingly changes. And since among OH minus and OR minus is a better base than OH minus. Compared to OH minus, this is a better base. Therefore, among rate constants also, K2 is greater than K1. That means second reaction will be a little better than the first reaction. I mean, OR case reaction is better than the OH case reaction. But here what they are telling in the option, changing the base from OH to OR minus will have no effect, they are saying. It will definitely get affected. Okay, not because of the concentration term, because concentration is in your hand. How much you take moles per liter for a base is in your hand. So even if you take the same concentration of OH minus OR minus, the rate will not be same because rate constant will not be same for these two bases. OR minus is a better base, therefore the reactivity will be better there. So 3 is also wrong therefore. Doubling the concentration of base will double the rate of both the reactions. Now concentration of base is not there in the first reaction, only is there in the second reaction. So only first reaction is independent, second reaction will get affected. When you double the OH minus, second reaction rate will double but not the first one. Therefore this is also wrong. So therefore if you look at all 4 options, only first one is the right option for this. In this problem, find out the order of acidic strength in the following compounds. So if you see, there are different types of hydrogens are there, A, B, C and D. So let's draw that. molecule, NO2 and OH and OH, and there is a triple bond CH and COOH. Now here this is called B and this is called D and this is called C and this is called A. Now in this, if you see what is the order of acidic strength, see actually this order, remember sulfonic acids are more acidic than the carboxylic acids. Carboxylic acids are more acidic than the phenol. Okay. The trinitrophenol is an exceptional case. Trinitrophenol is more acidic than even many carboxylic acids. But normal phenols, they are less acidic than carboxylic acids. So after that, you can remember water will come and alcohol will come. All this like this, order will go. Some next triple bonded carbon, that is alkynes will come. So this is the order in which acidic strength increases from bottom to top. Now here, so you can tell COOH here, and this is alkyne group and these are phenols. So I can tell using this concept, B is more acidic than A and C, because A and C are phenol, B is carboxylic acid, then last is alkyne. Now among A and C, how to decide? Now among A and C, if you see closely, one is meta-nitrophenol and other one is para-nitrophenol. So after removing the H plus from both of them, which is more stable, that you have to identify. The more stable one easily forms by losing the hydrogen, therefore that corresponding one will be more acidic. Now here, if you look at this O minus, now here, the first case, the O minus, if you involve in the resonance with the benzene ring, like this, if you involve in benzene ring, it is not getting stabilized by going into the NO2 delocalization. Whereas, if you look at the second molecule, because of the resonance, here end of NO2 group has N double bond O and O minus or coordinate bond will be there. Now here you can easily see how the resonance is delocalizing into NO2. So O minus charge is more delocalized here. So in other words, more resonance structures you will get here. Therefore, this one is more stable. Since it is more stable, it is easy to form. That means it is easy to lose. Easy to lose H plus. That means this is more acidic. The meta one is less acidic. So therefore, now order can be written as B, then among A and C, C is more acidic, then A, then finally D will come. This is the answer, BCAD, which is satisfying with the second option. Next, in this question, as you can see, there is a alkyl halide is there and it is reacting with the alcoholic KOH. And what is the major product they are expecting us to see? Now here, what happens alcoholic KOH when it reacts? Alcoholic KOH when it reacts, it forms alkene through E2 elimination. So E2 elimination takes place. So E2 elimination, the important condition is, suppose if any halogen is there, hydrogen is there, OH minus when it attacks, this H is breaking and the halogen is also breaking. So that is what happens in the E2 elimination process. Now in this elimination process, the transition state if you see, the hydrogen is attacked by the OH and carbon-carbon double bond is forming and it is breaking a bond with the halogen. So here bond breaking and here bond breaking. These two are important because if hydrogen is more acidic, then it will easily break away the bond from the carbon, so more rate of the reaction can be seen, and therefore major product in that direction will be formed. Similarly, here this bond breaking also helps. The more easily halogen leaves from the carbon, the easily the reaction takes place in that pathway, therefore major product will be formed. Now, this will decide, this is the transition state, so this will decide what is the major product, the stability of this state. Now, therefore, among CF bond and CBr bond, which bond is weaker bond? This is weaker bond. This is stronger bond. Why? Because fluorine is a smaller size atom. Therefore, carbon fluorine bond length will be smaller than the carbon bromine bond length. Since bond length and bond strength are inversely related, therefore CF bond is stronger than CBr bond. So, in the given molecule, you have to focus on the bromine, not the leaving of fluorine, because CBr bond is now breaking down in the process of E2 elimination. Now, there are what are the hydrogens available? Because hydrogen also it has to lose with the base when in E2 elimination process. So there are two hydrogens adjacent available. One is this hydrogen, other one is this hydrogen. Now, among these two hydrogens, which one you have to pick up? The one which is more acidic hydrogen, I already mentioned, the one which is more acidic hydrogen will easily leave in the bond breaking process. Now, since this hydrogen is directly connected to the fluorine, which is directly connected to the carbon which is attached to fluorine, this is more acidic, whereas this one is far away from the more electronegative atom fluorine, so therefore this is less acidic. So in that process, this more acidic hydrogen and bromine will be leaving as HBr. So you will get a double bond forming in this position, fluorine will be present. So OH minus attacks this hydrogen and H will be leaving, and Br also will be leaving in the process of alkene formation. So finally, this will be the major product. So here, focus on the transition state and see which halogen breaking is easy, which hydrogen breaking is easy. Correspondingly, you form the alkene. That is the key point here. So if you see the options, this one is matching with the option 3. That is the right answer. In this problem, sucrose is hydrolyzing to form A and B, and then B is undergoing Sullivanov reagent. Which color is obtained after a Bohr reaction? Now see, sucrose we know on hydrolysis it will convert into glucose and fructose. And glucose is a aldose. Aldose means there is an aldehyde group present in it. Fructose is a ketose. Keto group is present in it. This Sullivanov reagent contains resorcinol. What is the resorcinol structure? When OH and OH like this is resorcinol. And concentrated HCl. This is the reagent, Sullivanov reagent. Now this reagent, when it reacts, let's call it SR, Sullivanov reagent. When it reacts with ketoses, it will give you red color solution. This is an indication, or this is a test in order to separate aldose from the ketose. Ketose will give you the positive test, whereas aldose also react, but they react very slowly, so they do not produce the color immediately after a long time. So that helps us to distinguish between aldose and ketose. So therefore, finally, red color will be obtained in that process. So option 1 is the right answer here. In this question, two acyclic compounds are there, A and B, and having molecular formula C3H6O and reacting with a Grignard reagent, forming C and D compounds. And C and D compounds are giving these following tests. You have to identify the C and D compounds. First look at this C3H6O. C3H6O, if I calculate degree of unsaturation, the formula is 2 into number of carbons plus 2 minus number of hydrogens, number of halogens, number of nitrogens. Oxygen will not come in this formula. So no matter how many oxygens are there, it will not come in the formula. Automatically this formula will take care of everything. Now here, that means 2 into 3 plus 2 minus number of hydrogens are 6 and halogens are nothing here. So 8 minus 6 divided by 2, that means 1. So it is a degree of unsaturation, it is having 1. And they are saying acyclic compound. That means it is not a cyclic compound. You have to linear form you have to take, a non-cyclic form, and you have to put one double bond to satisfy the degree of unsaturation. So I am taking structures like this. Possible structures I am taking like this, which is acetone, and second one is aldehyde. So one of them must be A, one of other one must be B. When it reacts with the Grignard reagent and followed by hydrolysis, you will get alcohol. What is the alcohol formed here? CH3OH is a tertiary alcohol. Next, whereas in this case, other case, if CH3MgBr reacts, it will form now here actually hydrolysis step is also involved in this, but they will not mention that step. You have to understand, in this question it is not mentioned, but we have to understand that. Now here, so I already mentioned in the one of the earlier questions that what is the condition for giving iodoform test. Iodoform test I already mentioned. Suppose if something like this is there, or something like this is there. This is the most commonly seen structure in order to exhibit the iodoform. There are other exceptional structures are also there, but most commonly seen is this kind of structures, whether alcohol of this kind or ketone or aldehyde of this kind. Now here, although there is a OH group is there attached to the carbon, and there are adjacent, there are CH3 groups are also there. In fact, there are 3 CH3 groups are there. But what is lacking here, the hydrogen which is required in order to exhibit. OH and H should be attached to the carbon where methyl group is also attached. Now OH is there, methyl group is there, but H is missing here. So therefore, it will not give you iodoform test, negative iodoform test, or it will not give iodoform test. Now whereas OH is there, H is there, and methyl group is also attached to the carbon. So this will give you positive iodoform test. And when you consider Lucas test, why I am considering iodoform and Lucas? Because in the question they have given iodoform test and Lucas test. So focus on those two tests. Iodoform I have already decided. Now according to the iodoform test results, if I see compound C is negative, that means compound C must be this one. This must be compound C. And compound D is positive given, therefore it must be compound D. Now let's see the Lucas test also and confirm whether our conclusion is right or wrong. Lucas test, what Lucas test will do, this is a condition for iodoform test. Lucas test, primary alcohols, secondary and tertiary alcohol. Primary alcohols will give you a positive result only on heating. Okay, otherwise they don't give. Secondary, without heat they will give, but it will take some time to give the positive result. 5 minutes it will take. And what is the result? Result is the turbidity. and tertiary alcohol, immediately it will give. So immediate result will be there. So that is the result and the way primary, secondary and tertiary behave to the Lucas test. Now here, since this compound C is a tertiary alcohol and compound D is a secondary alcohol, so compound C with Lucas test, Lucas reagent if I use, then immediate turbidity it will give, immediate result, whereas this one will give you a result after 5 minutes. So and yes, they are saying compound D is giving positive after 5 minutes and compound C is instantly or immediately it is giving. So all are satisfying with our results. Therefore compound C and compound D, whatever we have decided is right. So let's, what is the answer therefore? Compound C is tertiary alcohol and compound D is secondary alcohol, which is satisfying with this given condition. Also in the question, one more point is given in the actual paper that is not mentioned in this screen. That is, C and D both are reacting with ceric ammonium nitrate. Ceric ammonium nitrate. And both are giving positive result. So this point is also mentioned in the question paper. What does it mean? Actually, ceric ammonium nitrate reacts with alcohols to give a colored solution, red colored solution. Therefore, here actually in the options, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, all are alcohols only. So this option, this statement or this test will not help us to decide which is the right option. Okay, so that's why I focused mainly on the iodoform and Lucas test. Ceric ammonium nitrate, although it is mentioned in the actual paper, it is not useful for us to decide. So that's why I skipped it. But this is also there in the actual paper. Dear students, if you really understood the concept and if you think you really benefited from this video, then please subscribe, like and share this video. Dear students, if you want to take full benefit of these classes, please join our interactive live online classes. Thank you.